Hi, it's Sandy Wyllie. Today I'm going to talk about Carl Jung's archetype, the hero. Now there's so many songs about heroes. Bonnie Tyler's I Need a Hero, Give Me a Hero. I forget. And he's gotta be strong, and he's gotta be I don't know all the words. Also, Mariah Carey says the hero lies in you. The hero is a good example of the universal archetype. That's what Carl Jung says. Everyone loves heroes. Come on. How many superheroes does Stan Lee write? Spider-Man, right? There's Superman. There's Wonder Woman. We all love heroes. We're all looking for a hero. Now, Carl Jung says the hero detests weaknesses, feeling more powerful in relation to the observed weakness of others. So, what he's saying is that the hero feels powerful around weak people, you know. When Superman sees Lois Lane, you know, in distress or something, he goes in the telephone booth and gets into that flying cape. So that's what gives them their power. Without someone to rescue, the hero is lost. Now, I'm going to talk a lot about rescue heroes. And this is exactly the epitome of my psychologist, Dr. Richard Geis. He was a rescue hero who loved to save damsels in distress. I talk about him a lot because he represents a lot of things. He's narcissistic, he's omnipotent, he thinks he's God, and he had a rescue hero complex. I think I did a video about the rescue hero complex, but now I'm talking about the hero shadow, because the hero has a shadow. Spending any amount of time embodying any type of archetype will shed light on your vulnerability. Okay, that's what the shadow is, the dark side. The shadow, the shadow is what sheds light on our dark side. That's what our shadow is. Everything that we detest, everything that we don't want to be. The hero has a blighted ego, right? An oversized ego. That's why he constantly needs to rescue people. And I'll go into that. The bloated ego takes action when sometimes inaction allows for healthy distancing. Okay, I'm quoting now. I'm quoting Carl Jung right here. Okay, listen to this, because now I'm quoting him. The bloated ego, that's the shadow of the hero, takes action when sometimes inaction allows for healthy distancing. Now I'll give you a perfect example of this. Dr. Richard Geis, he told me many, many things. He did many things with me too. Many inappropriate boundary violation things. But he told me that he called this woman a patient of his every night before she went to bed. Now think about that. Do you think that's healthy? Really, how that is making for a codependent relationship, which is very, very unhealthy. Calling a female patient every night before they go to bed, and he told me this. There was something in him that needed to always rescue women. And that is why there was a deep attraction between me and him, because I was looking for an older father figure. I was looking for a knight in shining armor. I was looking for a rescue hero when I first went to him, because I lost my father. You know, I at 38 years old. I went to 𝗙𝗁𝗍𝗃𝗍 when I was 39. And I was looking for an older male figure in my life. I didn't have any siblings, no brothers. I didn't have any, well, I had friends, but I didn't have anyone really to look up to. And growing up, I had no parental figures at all to look up to, because my mother was an abusive narcissistic, and my father was a paranoid schizophrenic, and you know, he was in and out of mental hospitals with delusions. He had delusions. He heard voices because he is schizophrenic. So that's one of the most severe illnesses, psychiatric illnesses out there, is schizophrenia. They're like completely deluded. They have no, they can become violent, they can become murderers. They have delusions. They're out of touch with reality altogether, unless they're on very heavy medication. And you know, most of them are, you know, can't hold jobs, or they're like in locked up in like McLean mental hospitals. And you know, so I never really. My father was like in and out of psychosis all my life, in and out of psychosis. So I never really got the father figure stable, secure. It was like a light switch, you know. If he was on his medication, he was all right for a little while, but then he'd go off his medication. So I never really got the stability, the consistency that I needed. And then he died when I was only 38 years old. My mother and father died 3 months apart, back to back. And at the same time, my cousin came in and stole $35,000 of my inheritance. It's all in my books, especially the book Life with My Schizophrenic Father. Now, because of my past, I was, you know, I have borderline personality disorder, and I've gone into that, so I'm not going to go into that here. But I was looking for stability. I was looking for a father figure. So I was like the damsel in distress. I don't know if anyone you is old enough to remember that cartoon Underdog. What's the name of is it Polly or something? I forget. When she calls, "Oh, Underdog, where are you?" Because she needed help, because there's always the bad guys, and Underdog comes in. He's like a Superman, except he's like a super dog, but he's an underdog. So I was like that. I was the damsel, like looking for, needing that, and that's what 𝗙𝗁𝗍𝗃𝗍𝗃 was. He was the hero archetype. But like Carl Jung says, every archetype has a shadow, the dark side. And that is, you know, the bloated ego of the hero. So, and I think that Dr. Geist couldn't function unless he was like, you know, going into, and he really did. I mean, he didn't go to the telephone booth, but he left his wife plenty of occasions at restaurants and everything just to flirt with me, just because I called him. Oh, she needs me. Because he'd say, you know, my wife's eating dinner now. at the restaurant alone. I'm out here, so I can't stay out too long. Uh-oh, they're serving dessert now. How did he know they were serving dessert? She must have came out, right, while he was talking on the phone. He goes, and, we'd still be talking. And then and there was no emergency or anything, It's just because I called him, Like, what emergency was it that he was talking to that female patient every night before she went to bed, right? It's just like he needed to be needed. You understand that? That's the whole point of the hero. They don't feel like anything, like they don't feel worthy unless, someone needs them. Someone, I don't feel that way. Do you? I don't have that rescue hero shadow. I don't have to be someone's hero at all. I don't have to, have people calling me up saying, "Oh, Sandy, can you come and help me?" I feel worthy in of myself. I don't need to be rescuing people, but some people feel if they have this, if they have this archetype, this hero archetype, then they feel, they need to be needed, as much as people need them. They need to be needed by the people that need them. And then you get a codependent relationship. Look that up, codependency. This is what it's all about. But then what happened with Dr. Richard Geist is he decided he burnt out from being the hero. So then what did he do to me? He re-traumatized me all over again. Then he said, "Oh, you know what? I don't want to play this anymore. It's burning me out. Too many women are calling up all hours of the day and night when I'm on vacation. And I'm tired. I don't want to play." And then he just shut it off. But what did he do? He fostered a codependent relationship. So, you decide you don't want to do it anymore. You can't just shut it off, I mean, if I took in a baby bird, right, and I fed it, and it didn't learn how to fly or get food for itself because it was only a little baby when I took it in. Oh, isn't it a cute little baby? Oh, look at this baby Robin. It's so adorable. I'm going to take it in the house when it's a little baby. I'm going to spoon feed it. I'm going to play with it. Then it gets bigger and starts flying all over the house and poops everywhere. I go, I don't want to play with this bird anymore. I don't care. And I let it out. What do you think's going to happen to that robin? It never learned to be a bird, right? It never learned because I was, I was the one feeding it and taking care of it, and it never learned to fly. It never learned to get food on itself. It never learned anything. And then when I was, it wasn't cute baby anymore. I didn't care about it. I didn't want to, play with it anymore, and I just opened the door and let it go. But then then the bird is an adult bird that can't take care of itself, and it gets killed because it doesn't know what to do. It doesn't know how to fly. It doesn't know how to forage for food. This is exactly the abuse Dr. Richard Geist gave me. Once he was done playing rescue hero because, he was tired of it. He was burnt out from it. So he just shut it off, just like opening the door with that baby bird that now is a grown bird. And he just let it go. I'm done with you. But then, guess what? Now you have an adult that doesn't know how to, mentally take care of herself because the psychologist was too busy playing rescue hero, and not all what therapy is supposed to be is your therapist is supposed to help you help yourself, okay? That's their role. They're trying to get you to help yourself so that you don't need them anymore. You can take care of yourself. See? That's the role of the therapist. Not to fly in and teach you like a little child, right? A child falls down learning to walk. a child will fall down, a toddler. That's why they call them toddlers, because they toddle. They will fall down over and over and over again until they can do it, until they can learn to walk. Now, if you're a mother and you don't allow your child to walk, how is it going to learn? If you restrain your child, put them in a high chair all day and never let them walk, you see what I'm getting at? So this is what you need to watch out for. And you know, I can't say it more plainly than on these videos, you know, that someone who does something for you is not helping you, okay? Someone who comes in and does something for you is not helping you. They're not helping you because they're fostering a codependent relationship, and you're not going to be able to help yourself. If I told my son, don't get a job, you know, I'll take care of you. You don't have to worry. You know, if I don't teach him life skills, or your daughter, if you don't teach your daughter life skills, then when you die, what's going to happen? They never worked. They didn't have to do anything. They don't even know how to cook an egg for themselves. You see what I'm saying? You're not helping them. You think like, oh, I'm doing everything for them. Aren't I wonderful? I'm the best parent there is. I feed them. They don't have to work. I give them money. They don't have to cook. They don't have to do their wash. They won't even know how to do their wash or boil an egg or do anything. Because if you do everything for someone, you fail them, you know? You fail them. I can't say it more plainer. It might seem like, oh, in the beginning I thought, wow, isn't this great? Isn't this awesome? Aren't they wonderful? No, no, no. They're awful, and they're harmful, and they're harming you. You know? That rescue hero, he is fostering a codependent relationship, and he is harming you because he's got an inflated ego, and he needs to be needed. I don't know the psychology of someone like that needs to be needed. Maybe, and it all stems from their childhood, right? I don't know what happened to them. We can go into another video about that, but I'm going to end this video. Be careful about someone who wants to do everything for you, who fosters, especially a therapist, a codependent relationship. That's the shadow side of the hero.